Welcome to the Inner Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Trent, and this is the show where we dive into all things youth athlete development, strength and conditioning, and the mindset needed to thrive on and off the field. Whether you're a parent looking to support your child's athletic journey, a coach seeking fresh insights, or an athlete ready to take your game to the next level, you're in the right place. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest episodes. If you enjoy the show, please give us a like, share it with your friends, and help us reach even more people who can benefit from these insights. Together, we can empower the next generation of athletes to perform at their best. Now, let's get into it.
And I think we've discussed this before, just kind of touched on it, is like we've got kids playing multiple sports. Like, what's your, and you've obviously played multiple sports growing up. Did you play multiple sports at the same time as well?
Yeah, so in high school, also I want to also say, so the everyday practice doesn't happen until high school. So from youth level, which is kindergarten to 8th grade for us, two times a week, 3 times a week is normal. In high school, so the season for basketball is from about October to February. And then season for lacrosse starts in January practice and goes until about May. So there's always a little bit of overlap towards the end of my season. So I was going from basketball practice after school, which is 4 to 6, 6:30-ish, and then I go straight to lacrosse practice from 6 to 7:30 or whatever. So yeah, I was playing two at a time for a little bit.
And did you feel like that helped you with your career as well as playing multiple sports?
Yeah, especially starting late for lacrosse, I was only good because I knew basketball. Rotations and sliding and all that stuff in lacrosse is the same as basketball, same concepts.
Yeah, so there's a lot of crossover.
A ton. Yeah. I would say basketball has the easiest crossover from lacrosse.
Yeah. Pardon the pun, but, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. And then in terms of the collegiate level with lacrosse, you know, obviously, you know, there's all these NIL deals are really going on now. There's a lot of money getting pumped into the sport, and it's becoming a lot more professionalized. And then where do you see lacrosse going within, I guess, the American side moving forward? And then what would that do in terms of creating opportunities for, you know, imports to come in?
That's a good question. I'm not that well versed on the NCAA and the landscape of it, but from what I know, most of the money that comes into schools comes from football, basketball. So I know they will get the biggest chunk. And then from there, it'll be whatever percentage goes down to all the other sports, including women's sports. Lacrosse, I don't know. It's a good question. I think, I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I don't think typically, it's not true always, but typically a lacrosse player doesn't always have a problem paying tuition.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. There's a guy named Kyle Sockwell. He's a former collegiate swimmer, an American. And he runs he's got his own Instagram page. And what he does with swimming is generally coach swimmers, generally a boring sport. All right, you watch people swim up and down. It's somewhat exciting.
Boring sport to watch.
Yeah. As a general spectator, unless you got like investment in an athlete. And I like what Kyle's done. He's actually created more like, I don't know, he's kind of tapped into the culture side, made it actually more like fun and enjoyable to watch, and kind of created a lot more hype around it as well. I like what USA Swimming have done, because they actually put, for the US trials, they put it at Lucas Oil Stadium, the swimming pool. And I thought that was unreal. That's like next level, putting on a big stage like that as well. And then they create a lot of hype around it on social media. So I think that's probably going to be the key thing, is like, do we have someone in lacrosse, you know, in America that can do something like that as well? Kind of like putting lacrosse on a bit more of a pedestal moving forward, and starting to highlight players, or, you know, whether it's like there's a couple of Aussie kids that run, I think it's called Baseline Hoops. So basically they go to like local rep games, and they basically film and they do like all these edits on these specific athletes, or like rivalries, or go to like these tournaments and kind of like highlight and showcase it as well. And it's more of like some degree of subculture within the actual sport itself. I think something like that in Australia, or even in the US, and bring it down to here, would actually start to, I guess, put lacrosse more on the map moving forward in terms of marketing.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone's on social media. excluding the two of us, I think.
Personally, not that much, but anyways.
But yeah, you got to go where the eyes are, especially for kids, because kids, like, they're on their phones all day. They start seeing highlights or whatever, players that they like. They start seeing that, they just want to play.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, the more you can market it, the better.
Yeah. We need someone within the lacrosse world. Just, it's already got a big following. Who was that big? He played in the PLL.
Paul Rabel?
He's a real jack dude. He always did the face-offs.
He's
retired.
Greg.
Yeah. It's Greg.
Something.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He would have been a good example of that. He just smashes everyone.
Yeah.
And he played box lacrosse as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a tank.
Oh, 100%. So someone like that, because he's such a personality, as well, would be really good, and especially with lacrosse players. From what I understand, their personalities.
Oh, they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Especially Canadians. Canadians are the funniest.
Yeah.
Ah, dude.
Yeah. So we need send them a social media team to follow them around.
Yeah.
Create some content from that as well. What are some of the key things that parents should know in order to help their kids to succeed in lacrosse? So, say for example, you mentioned about the training as they get older, they're going to be practicing more from that sense. But I guess from that perspective, from the parents, what can they do to help reinforce to keeping the kids in the game, number one, and then number two, keep helping them develop?
As a parent, your role is to support. You can't make your kid practice, no matter how much money you pump into them or trainings that you get them. Like, that doesn't make them love the sport, and that's not going to make them work on their own. So you have to let them figure it out by themselves. Like, even if they want to go practice the most ridiculous move that they're never going to use, the fact that they're out there practicing something is good enough, because eventually they're going to understand, oh, that doesn't help me. Let me go do something that actually helps me. I actually want to get better.
Yeah, are they practicing for the sake of it?
Yeah. Just go practice. Because before you go work hard, you have to love the game, and part of loving the game is just going out there and just playing around.
Yeah.
You have to give them the time to play around, and and then when they're young, if they don't want to practice, you can't make them, because that makes the relationship becomes more of a working relationship rather than a loving relationship, and you don't want that. That causes burnout. So, as a parent, your role is 100% support, and it's going to be very hard because they're not going to improve at the pace that you want them to, but you have to be there to help them. And then as soon as they show any enthusiasm or whatever, then you gotta jump on that. If they want to play catch, go do it with them. Yeah.
And then what are you seeking in players? Like, what are some of the key traits, irrespective of skill level? What are some of the key characteristics and traits that you'd want to see from a kid that you're going to coach?
Athleticism, of course. Although you don't always get the best athletes, especially if they're single sport athletes and they're playing lacrosse, they're not always the best. But someone who's not willing to get dirty. So a lot of my drills that I do are no stick, just ball on the ground, go pick it up. Someone who's not afraid to go just get after it, put their body on the line. You can do something with that. If they're willing to work hard through whatever the drill is, a little bit physical, you can create a good player.
Yeah.
Just physicality and just a little bit of dog.
Yeah, a bit of grit.
Yeah, just a little bit of grit.
Yeah. Get the fingernails dirty.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then, what would you consider the best drill that every kid should do?
Wall ball.
Wall ball?
Wall ball.
Why is that?
The thing that separates lacrosse from every sport is the stick. So the better your stick is, the more fun the game is. Lacrosse is something, if you're dropping the ball all the time, it's not that fun. But if you're catching the ball, swinging it around, it becomes a lot of fun, especially if you got 5-6 guys that are willing to pass. And you're all zipping it around. Even if you don't get a shot off, like, it's fun just to move around, pass the ball, move around, pass the ball.
Yeah.
So wall ball is the answer.
It's a bit of a novelty when you link up 5 or 6 passes.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
It's like, it feels cool. Yeah. Like, you're a part of something like that as well.
Yeah.
It's like basketball's the same thing. When you see like a team work in unison, they run a play. There's like 8 to 10 passes within the play. They get the ball off within 3 seconds of the shot clock going off, but everyone gets a touch and it feels like they're actually a part of that play as well.
Yeah, and they're not scared. Once they give it up, they won't get it back.
Yeah.
So you got an unselfish team. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah, and then What's been the difference between coaching in the USA, the kids that you've coached in the US versus here?
Biggest difference I've seen, and not to say that none of the kids in America are like this, but this group that I have here, so keen. Everything I tell them to do, they're on it. So they're hungry for it, and so I would say that that's the biggest difference that I've seen is just how willing they are to just do whatever. Because they've never had. I don't want to say they've never had real coaching, but they've never had the level of coaching that they're getting, and it doesn't feel like any of them are taking advantage of it. And so, yeah, it's super easy to coach here. These kids specifically because they do everything you want them to do.
Yeah. Well, over in the US, it's more just like it's the standard, it's expected.
Yeah. From what I've experienced.
Yeah.
But there are kids that are like that. But to have a group like this is special.
Yeah. And then what's the most underrated skill in lacrosse?
Let me think about this.
Maybe we could do one for offense and one for defense.
Underrated skill. Off-ball movement, I think, offensively. Defensively, probably communication, which feels very basic, but I think because they're so basic, a lot of people miss it.
Yeah. Because, it's done. It should be done all the time, and it gets discounted.
Yeah. And how well you communicate, like defensively. Like my coaches always say, like use names. Like everybody knows your voice, but if you say someone's name, then they'll move. Yeah. It's like Trent moved 2 steps to the left. Yeah.
That's Deus' job, really. Yeah.
No,
that's good. I think,
everyone hears Deus, by the way.
Exactly. He's got a loud voice. It's good. Yeah. It's a very unique voice as well.
Very unique.
I think communication, any team sport, 100%. It's funny though because even when I speak to like the girls I work with Bentley Greens, I say like you don't want to be like a mouse on the field because what can happen is if you're tied up with the ball, they've got a defender in front of them. Their eyes are going to be fixed on the ball and the defender, right, and where they want to move to. But if you can yell out on your right, or I'm here, name on your right, they're going to know that you're there without even seeing you. So then you become more of a dangerous player. Or the other option is they may fake right, and you would have called it, and then they end up going left. So then you become even more dangerous because you've just pulled them in. So you end up creating more problems for the defense than you do for your own team. You actually you lighten the load for your own teammate. And I think that's where communication can create that level of deception in order for you to be able to run plays and have a bit more variability and have more time than anything else. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and the more you communicate, the safer you feel. Oh yeah, 100%. And if you know where your teammates are without even saying them, and it's like you feel so much more confident. Yeah, you feel much more confident. Yeah, on both sides of the ball. Oh, 100%. And then where do you see? I guess what's the dream for Australian lacrosse in the next 10 years? Where do you kind of see it? Where do you think it? Where do you hopefully starts to move towards in the next 10 years from what you've seen so far? I would love just to see this level of play rise, and then also on an international level have. Right now you got U.S., Canada, and the Haudenosaunee, which is Native American. Like the founders of the game, that's their team. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then you got Japan, Australia, and the level from U.S., Canada, Haudenosaunee to Australia is pretty big, pretty drastic. Yeah. In 10s, 6s, and box, I think maybe you have a little bit more less change, but I would just love to see more than 5 teams be able to compete. Yeah. You want to see the European teams come, and then like I was in China coaching for a club with over 300 kids at the youth level. That was U16 and down. They had over 300 kids. So the game is growing, but I'd like to see the level of play all kind of even out. Yeah, that would be the goal, and then also I'd love to see more international players in college lacrosse. Yeah, that would be awesome. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's our goal. Ship them over once they're ready for that. And where can they find you if they want to get in contact with you? Say, hey Chad, I want you to come and coach us.
Good question.
Yeah.
I'd say reach out to Colby.
Yeah.
Reach out to MLA.
He's like your manager.
Yeah. Reach out to Colby, and then he'll decide if he wants me to coach for you or not.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, I don't have anything, no social media, so come find me. I'm in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Inner suburbs.
Yeah. And we'll put that in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
Just like, contact the inner athlete. We can always pass on. And then we'll put MLA in the show notes as well if you want to get a hold of Chad and get his 2 cents, or, what we can do moving forward, especially with, with MLA and maybe going elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm here for a chat. Come reach out.
Sweet. Thanks for coming down.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.
You have just listened to the Inner Athlete podcast. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with the release of weekly episodes. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram to get great tips on all things youth athlete development and youth mentoring.